Good evening. I'd like to call to order the March 24th, 2025 Park Board meeting. If you'll all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please turn your cell phone ringers to the off. Welcome and roll call. Angie.
Amy Hammonds.
Here.
Angie McMullen.
Here.
Ann Kirshner.
Here.
Thane Lashua. Julie Fisher.
Here.
Rob Baum.
Here.
Okay, thank you. The minutes from the February 24th meeting. Are there any additions or corrections after your review? Anyone? Okay. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I so move.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carried. Marla, the superintendent's report.
Yes. So for our team at the park, this was written a few weeks ago. So some things have changed, but we were taking applications for lifeguards. We are now closed with those applications. We have filled all of the spots, given that they all passed their lifeguard certification class. So that we have 2 classes in April coming up that they will be taking part in. We split them up, so we gave them 2 options, and they chose what dates would work best for them, and they will be taking those certifications. And so we will find out for sure how many lifeguards we will have after the certification classes have been completed.
But we don't feel like, we've had enough applicants this year that we don't feel like we're going to be in the constraints that we've had in the past for having a shortage.
Correct. So we had 8 returning, is that right? 10 returning lifeguards, and then 9, because we have 19, right?
Well, we added one, so we have 10 new and 10 returning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
So we won't have those issues, staffing issues that we've had in the past then, or
Correct.
shouldn't have.
Correct.
Oh,
As
that's
long as they
great.
all pass their
No, but
certification.
Yeah,
But
that's
yes,
great.
uh-huh.
Just to be that far ahead of the curve right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it is exciting. So that's what's going on with the park team. Summer Discovery. I'm not going to go into all the details because I'm sure Kelly and Logan would be talking about all this, but we have closed our application process for Summer Discovery as well. And I'm only hiring a few grounds crew, and so there's no open applications for that position either. So we're looking really good at this point in time for the summer. We're really excited about that. Some projects I've been working on. We have been working closely with Hillfi to install cameras at the park. And so the cameras that are currently completed and installed and completed are Longwood Bridge. We have cameras on that. There's 4 cameras at Longwood Bridge. We have cameras at the pool. We have cameras at the Miller Building and cameras on the pickleball courts, both sets of courts. And in the future, we hope to put the pickleball courts and tennis court cameras on our website and stream them live so people can go on and they can look at them, see if there's anybody playing. If not, they know they can go down and play, because there's lots of different times where it's packed, and so people may want to take a look online first to see who's down there and then go in. So those are all live. We are currently exploring options for 2nd Street Park. We don't have electricity or Wi-Fi there, and so we're looking at solar cameras for 2nd Street Park. And then once we get the skate park and pump track and playground area finished, then we will be putting cameras in those locations as well.
How about the basketball courts? Do we have any cameras over
Not
there?
currently. It really depends on what kind of budget we have left after
Okay.
we get done with all of our other projects. And these were our areas that we felt were kind of higher on the list
Okay.
of getting area cameras placed.
Okay.
And then we want to continue to install cameras in other parks and other locations as well. And so it's just kind of an ongoing process, but this is where we are starting with it
But
right
that's,
now.
because that's utilized so much.
Oh, yeah.
So that would be.
And maybe when we get the skate park, pump track, playground all up, maybe we could put cameras up the same time that face
either
that direction.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah. So it just kind of depends on what Ben at Hillfi can get us and kind of the pricing and all of that and everything. We did get all of our pickleball nets installed on our courts, and they were packed like the night we got them installed. So they were being utilized right away, and everybody was excited about that. And all of our restrooms are open and ready to go as well. So we're geared up for the summer. Bring on the nice weather. Some other things that we've been working on. John Pawsley had contacted me, and we both had talked about this during the city council meeting and Board of Works, but we thought it was very interesting. So our Facebook page had, in the month of February, 90,162 views, and we had 9,713 followers. We are the highest ranked in the city with our social media page. So I wanted to share that information. We found it interesting that we had that many followers and views. So we're trying to post more things on there just to get out in the community and everything. But I'll say one thing that the community members need to know is the way Facebook and social media and the algorithms work. If you're not seeing our post just scrolling, you need to go to our Facebook page, and we have an Instagram page as well. And so go to those specific pages and see what our posts are, because you may not be seeing our post, and it's just part of how Facebook's algorithm works. And if they would rather show you something else, and so you have to go to our Facebook page to see some of the things that we
If
put
you
on there.
visit it a lot, it'll show up.
It will, yeah.
If you make a point of visiting it very frequently, then
Yeah.
it'll show up.
And if you like our pages that we post, things like that, it'll show up more, but it's almost like a continuation, like a daily thing that you have to do. And so if you're not seeing our feeds, make sure you're going to our page to see all of our postings. And then Kelly was on Healthy Fayette County show on Channel 3, and she talked about living well, aging well, and highlighted all of our events and things that we do through the month. And I won't share more in case that's on her report. And then we had opened John Connor Nature Preserve, or Smalley's that most people know it as. We opened that on March 24th. So our maintenance team got that all cleaned up and ready to go. There was a lot of fallen limbs and things that they had to work on cleaning up. And so that's all open and ready to go. A lot of questions I've had is, did the swan come back? And yes, the swan is there, and looks to be just fine and swimming around when I was there the other day. So, I did report this during my Board of Works and City Council meeting, so I'll share it here today. Last month, we did have an incident at the Miller Building during our Church League men's basketball. And I'll just read what this says. It was a frightening incident, but thanks to swift and heroic actions to those involved, a man's life was saved. We are incredibly grateful to have had an AED machine on site, which played a crucial role in saving this man's life. I want to thank Logan Newcomb, Clint Brown, Tim Billups, John Bennett, Sean Steele, Elizabeth Roselle, and Debbie Dawson, and everyone who stepped in to help. Your quick response truly made a difference. This event highlights just how vital it is to have an AED machine available in such a situation. So that was a very it was an incident that, you know, we were thankfully all prepared for, and the AED did save his life. And so that's just to show the importance of making sure that we have those on site. I am in the future, I want to look for a grant because I would really like to have one that Logan keeps in his vehicle to take around to the different locations, like the soccer and the baseball fields, so that we have one at those locations, just in case.
That would be really wise.
We do have one at the pool, and we have one at the Miller Building, but I would really like for him to have one that kind of travels around when he goes to the different locations.
What's the cost on something like that?
They're almost 3,000, not quite. And we work with our EMS team. I work with Clint to get them. And after this incident happened, he came and got our machine. He took it back with him, and he kind of serviced it, got us new pads, got us everything we needed. So,
So do they give us training on it?
well,
It's so easy.
it is very easy. The machine is self-explanatory, but what we're going to do, so all of our lifeguards are certified in CPR, first aid, and AED. We do get all of our summer discovery counselors certified in first aid and CPR, but we're going to also certify our office staff in that as well, just so they are prepared. Because we have lots of people in and out of the Miller Building every single day. And so you just never know. I mean, we didn't expect this to happen, and neither did the gentleman that this happened to. Like, he came ready to play basketball. He didn't think that this was going to happen. So I will report that he is doing very well. He is home and doing good. So Logan and I met with the mayor and the superintendent of the school corporation, the transportation superintendent, and the athletic directors for about our interlocal agreement between the school system and us in the city, because it had not been updated since 2012. And our interlocal agreement says that we are to update it every 2 years, or just evaluate it every 2 years. And so it wasn't anything that we needed to make a whole lot of changes or anything like that, but we did just kind of come to an agreement that our old agreement said that anything that we needed to rent or the school needed to rent off of us or use any of our spaces, that the mayor and the superintendent of the school system had to have that communication. It had to go strictly through them. And we changed that to, like, Logan and I can talk to whomever it is at the school system that we need to talk to. And we don't have to go straight to the mayor and the mayor contact the superintendent. So it just makes it easier. And we don't need to bother them with those things. You know, if they want to use the Miller Building for prom, like, the superintendent doesn't need to contact the mayor for that. So we just had that discussion, and they both agreed on that. And so we just changed the wording in our contract to just say that the facilities will be designated to those that the mayor and the superintendent designate to have those conversations with. So, and that was about it for that. We talked about just, kind of just filled him in on the things in the past that we have done between the school system and the Parks Department, because he is a new superintendent and wasn't familiar with that. So that was our meeting with them. It went well. And then just some upcoming dates. We have Bunnies and Brownies on April 10th from 5 to 7. That is on a Thursday night. That's open to the public. It's a free event. We have lots going on. You can come get your pictures taken with the Easter Bunny, and then have lots of activities for the kids to come and participate in. And then we have Breakfast with the Bunny on April 12th. That's a Saturday from 9 to 11. That is $10 per ticket. We are providing breakfast and activities, and the Easter Bunny will be there to do those activities and have fun with the kids. Probably read a story, different things like that. And then April 16th at 4 p.m., we will be having a grand opening for J. Long Memorial 2nd Street Park. And they will be, the donors who made this park possible will be riding in on the train. So the train will bring them down and drop them off at 2nd Street Park. And then we'll have a little grand opening celebration ceremony there at 4 p.m. And it's coming together nicely. We'll have landscaping done next week, and it'll be a great event. And then indoor, we're having an indoor garage sale on April 26th. That's a Saturday at the Miller Building. And spaces are $25 for a booth space to bring all of your things to sell at the indoor garage sale. And it is, there's no charge to get in or anything like that. Just come and shop the garage sales from all the different people in the community. And then our next board meeting is April 28th. And that's all I have.
What's the time, real quick, Kelly, maybe say it, but the garage sale indoor, what will be the times on that?
8 to 2.
8 to 2. Okay. All right, thank you, Marla. We'll go on to Kelly.
So our Living Well, Aging Well program, we've had really good attendance. It's been growing consistently. Shuffleboard, table tennis, pickleball, chair yoga, very popular. Our last couple of yoga classes, we've had around 18, so that's pretty good. The welcome room that we made, everybody's been enjoying that. We have ladies that routinely come almost every day, some weeks. Yeah, and they just hang out and play cards. The other day they were there from 10 till about the time we left, so that was pretty cool. Wow. So that's been going really well. We're going to start a walking club in April. So that's going to be new in April. I've been reaching out to different businesses and organizations in the community to see if they'd like to partner with the program as well. I met with Healthy Fayette County to talk about combining the walking program with the art stroll from the Art Association. So we're excited about that. For the pool, as Marla said, at this time we had 19, but now we have 20 lifeguards hired, providing that they pass their Red Cross certification. We've got the 2 classes scheduled. The first one's at Earlham College in April 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then the next one's at the end of April. We've got 11 concession workers hired, so we're excited for a good season. As far as upcoming goals, I'm helping Marla organize the Brownies and Bunny event. We've got that pretty well organized. We're hoping for a great turnout. And then the Breakfast with the Bunny event, we're excited for that. We're hoping to sell more tickets. Dot Foods donated all the food for that, so we're pretty excited about that. It's going to be a good breakfast and should be fun. And then, as she said, the indoor garage sale, we want more people to sign up for that. We've got several, but we need some more. And then also some other goals are just to help organize more outdoor events for the Living Well, Aging Well program. We want to keep it going, even though Summer Discovery is going to be in the Miller Building, maybe do some more outdoor events. So I think that's about all.
Thank you. Logan?
Thank you. So spring soccer will start this Saturday, April 5th. All the teams have been selected and everything. So I hope everybody's heard from Coach yet, but if you haven't, always just call the Miller Building and we have all those
Well,
on file. So.
I have a question on that.
Yep.
Is grandmother with children playing and say, can I have a schedule of your games? Is there any place on the website of the Parks Department that I can just go download, click on it and print off a copy?
Yeah, well, there's not actually right now, but I can definitely put that on our Facebook page.
Well,
That way
it would be
everybody
just
has
really
access to that.
handy
Yeah, of
to
course.
have, because you want to go, and some of us are techno-challenged, and we don't put all that stuff in our phones.
Right.
It's just nice to look on the refrigerator, okay, this game is, so-and-so plays at 9, he plays at 11.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be greatly appreciated by more than one grandma.
yeah, of course, yeah, I can definitely do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And you'll just put it up on the Facebook page then?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
That would be great.
I probably should have done that sooner, so thank you.
No problem. No, it's just that I'm a grandma that goes to soccer games, and it's like, I
It's a
do
lot.
not, I do not do well on my phone with that kind of stuff
Yeah.
at all, so.
But yeah,
Okay.
I'll get that posted for.
Okay,
Facebook,
thank you.
so,
Appreciate
yep,
it.
Of course. Next, our men's league and church league basketball. They are over, and our church league champions were First Baptist. I think they've won 3 years in a row, so they are definitely the team to beat. Our men's league champions were Team Belt, who went undefeated this season. So great job to those guys. And yeah, I just wanted to thank all of our participants, especially our referees, Tim Billups, Toby Billups, and Clint Brown, who did a great job for me this year. So just wanted to thank them. Baseball, softball, and t-ball registrations are now closed. They closed this previous Wednesday. So I'll now go put all the kids in their correct group and try to see how many coaches I need and stuff like that. I've been so swamped with soccer that I'm just now getting around to that since they ended on Wednesday. So sometime over the next week or two, we will be having those drafts and getting those kids on the teams. So, and then always, I'm always looking for coaches and umpires. So if anybody out there is interested in doing that, please, yeah, just call the park office, and I'd love to talk to you about it. So. Something I didn't have on here that came up after I made a report, church league softball and co-ed softball. We're going to have those registrations opening soon. It is $250 for the church league and $300 for the co-ed team. And then I still have the same goal as last time, which is like one of my biggest goals and probably going to be one of the hardest and going to take a while to do that. But I still stand by the fact that I think that is what will eventually make the program itself very good. Marla had hit on it last meeting, but yeah, just I know everybody wants to come and win the game, and obviously, I mean, you spend a lot of time and effort and you want to win, but they're also, with it being a recreational league, there's a lot more to just winning that I think is very important. So just trying to get everybody on that same page. That way, you know, everybody come there, win or lose, you still can go home happy and everything. So that's all I got.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks. All right, do we have any old business to discuss? We'll move on to new business. Quotes.
Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of bring everyone up to date on what I've been working on. I don't have anything to show you today because I'm waiting to get all of the final quotes back. And then I'll be going to the Board of Works in April to receive approval to get started on all of the projects. But in 2023, I believe it was, we had a bond that came available that we got a portion of it, and then the fire department, I believe, got a portion. They kind of portioned that out, and so we were able to use this money to do improvements on certain things that like buildings. And so it's very specific on what we use this money for. So some things that I am working on getting quotes for and working on trying to get fixed. The first one are the Miller Building doors. We have some doors that are broke that we need to have fixed and replaced. And so I'm working on that. And then we are working on changing our locking system for all of our different doors at all of the rental buildings that we have and the restrooms. We want to make it more user-friendly. We currently hand out a bunch of keys, which doesn't work out very well. Sometimes we don't get the keys back, or they get lost, or something like that. So this system is going to be more user-friendly, and then we'll also be able to put them on the restrooms at the different sports complex, so that during practice the coach will be able to access the restrooms so that their kids can go to the restroom while they're at practice, and then they'll lock back at the end of the night and everything. So
That's a very good one.
it is, yeah.
Those
We've
of us
been
who
working
live
on
in the
that for a
vicinity
while.
of the soccer field, shall we
Yes.
say we get a lot of requests from friends?
Yes.
Lots of trips to the Shell station.
Yes.
Used to be.
So we- yeah.
And Pavies and
Yeah.
Now Pavies.
Pavies.
Yeah, so
And
we
any-
are working, we've been working on that. We've known that's been an issue, and we've wanted to fix that. And so this locking system will, that will solve our problem.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
and then we are also looking at slide restoration at our pool, restoring our slides. And so that's going to be a possibility. These are not all set in stone, so I'm still, working on that, but I wanted to make everyone aware. And then one of them I talked about already were the cameras that we're installing at the parks. And then possibly, we've already been working on the restrooms at the Miller buildings, replacing the countertops, the vanity, and the sinks and the faucets. We've been working on that already. We have 2 restrooms, one restroom almost complete, another one is about midway there being completed, and then we have 2 more to go. So our guys are, we ordered out from a company, and then our guys are installing them. And then I'm also getting quotes for our kitchen at the Miller building. It needs some much dated improvements, and so we're working on that as well. So I just wanted to kind of let everyone know what I've been working on as far as the quotes for that.
All right, next on our new business is the Fair Board contract that you discussed with the mayor at a meeting.
Yes, so we're not moving forward on this contract at the moment, but I just wanted to let everyone take this home to think about. We, the park board, along with the mayor, they decide on the contract between the fair and the parks. And so Mayor Frank and I met with some of the board members from the fair, because our contract is a 3-year contract, and this is the last year for this contract. And so we do have to evaluate it at the end of every three years. And so it's just time to evaluate that contract and look at our expenses that we have going into each year. And prices are rising. We did discuss that with them, and told them that, our electric and our water and everything is going up this year. Well, much like, everybody's is. And so that's increasing our bills significantly. And we purchase all of the paper towels, soap, trash bags, toilet paper, everything, for the park during that week. And all of those prices have risen as well since the a few years ago. And so it's just something that we need to evaluate and discuss, and And once I meet with Mayor Frank to find out, kind of where we're gonna go from there, I'll bring that to the board and let the board know, kind of the recommendations, and then we do have to vote on a new contract. And I will let the fair board know what meeting we're gonna do that, so that they can attend if they'd like to attend the meeting. Because I know they did a couple years ago as well. So, currently they do rent the park from the Parks Department to host the fair. We try to keep our costs to them low because they still want to be able to provide a free fair. I think that's a great thing for our community to offer however many years it's been now, over 100 years for our free fair. And so we want to do what we can to help them provide that free fair to our community. But we do need to evaluate some of the costs that is coming out of our budget to allow the fair to happen, in the park side of things. So, just be, thinking about that, and if you have questions, you can contact me and we can talk about that. So,
In the past, this has not been a real happy situation between the Parks Department, the city, and the Fair Board. There's been a little acrimony involved. Are we hoping that this will be because we're doing it ahead of time and not trying to kind of keep up, that it'll be a better situation for everybody?
yeah, and I mean, we had a great meeting with them, and we discussed our concerns, they discussed their concerns, and, I feel like that we will get to a mutual agreement on what the contract will look like for the next, if we decide to do another 3-year contract, they prefer the 3-year contract because that helps them to, they work ahead that far. They have to get rides booked that far in advance. They have to get all of their everything that they hold in the amphitheater. They book that out many years in advance to make sure that they have all of those coming back each year. And especially the rides, that's their biggest thing. And so they want to make sure that they are locked into our contract so that then they can lock into their contract with the fair rides company and all of the other companies that they work
There's
with.
issues with that because the state fair starts so much earlier, and we are the last. We're the last fair in Indiana, and I think there's maybe 1 or 2 others that are still free fairs. So we are quite unique in that respect, that we are a free fair.
Yeah.
So if everyone wants to take the packet that Marla included in this month's board packet, if everyone would take a chance over the next, say, couple weeks and look at it in depth, Marla's done a really good cost analysis on here of what we have incurred at a loss for the park, and then also what we've provided. So if there are any questions, Marla will be happy to answer those.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the discussion, and we will come up with that at the next meeting. So, okay. All right. Any other questions on the fair contract? Okay, we'll move on to the scholarship application, which was included, which we will remain anonymous. But if you have any questions, we have 2 children for the sports scholarship form. And if we'll take a vote on, if we'll entertain a motion to approve the 2 scholarships that we have presented this evening.
I'll motion to approve.
Okay, do I have a-
scholarships.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor, aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay. Motion carried. Thank you.
Let our kids to play.
That's right. That's all about. All right, and then I will move on to miscellaneous business next. Have any? No? Okay.
Out there and-
Okay. Yep, public forum.
Oh,
Yep.
he was.
We'll get to that here in just a second. Then on to claims, including payroll. If you've had a chance to go over those or have any questions for Marla, we'll entertain any questions at the moment. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I didn't see anything unusual. I move that we approve them.
Okay. Or, okay, okay. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carried. All right, next, public forum. If you'll come to the podium and state your name, please, and then what you would like from us.
Maybe you can hear me if I get up here close enough.
Sure.
No problem. My name is Larry Dragoo.
Okay,
I'm here in Connersville my whole life. I have horses at the horse barns, have had for 50 years.
okay.
This is the first time in 50 years I've never had running water in my barn. The city, Marta, I went to, when I went to water my horses, the water was cut off. The city was digging a trench from the meter to both barns. Their solution to fixing the leaks was to put a hydrant outside the two barns outside on the north side. So that means every time I water my horses, we have to carry water. I think this is not acceptable to anybody. This winter, I think we had a gentleman down there with 20 head besides what was there. Now I can imagine him carrying water. I don't know if you women have ever carried 5-gallon buckets of water. But if you're carrying the full length of that barn for every horse twice a day,
It's 40
I
pounds.
think this is unacceptable. They say they did it because of water leaks, so I understand that. For years, we've complained about water leaks in them barns. They would come down, dig it up, put a patch on it, and that was the fix. It wasn't replacing the old, them lines are probably older than me, and I'm 82. So, I've done a little research today. I went to Gilman's and I went to Powell's Plumbing. A trencher, which I don't know if the city owns one. A trencher is $220 for 4 hours, for 24 hours. You can trench the whole park for that, okay? And the PEC, which is now plastic, polymer, is $1 a foot, and it would take approximately 300 feet to hook all the hydrants up and run them out to the line that the city just put in. So that's less than that's not counting fittings, but that's because we have the faucets, that's less than $1,000 to put water back in the barn permanently, which would probably be there another 100 years. And I asked Marla if there was any plans on them fixing it. She said no. So that's what I'm here to ask you. Can we get this fixed? And if your answer is no, can I personally dig my side of the barn, run a trencher down there, run the line to the city and have them hook it up? Can I do that on my own? I'll pay for the trencher and the PEC, and all the city would have to do is dig their new line up right there at the end of the barn and hook it up. So there's a solution there for me. I'm under the doctor's care now for at least another 6 months or longer. And carrying water is not my thing.
That's 40 pounds.
Huh? At least 40. It's over
Yeah, a
40.
gallon of water weighs 8 pounds.
A little over 8 pounds. You're right. And I rent I got 2 horses now. I used to have 20. I'm down to 2 horses. And I rent 5 stalls because I figure that money is going back in, I hope, to the barns. I'm probably the only one that does that, and I've always kept 3 stalls. But that's my thing, either can we fix it, and if not, can I fix my side?
Well, I don't think we can allow you to do it because of insurance purposes. We would have to
That's
get,
what I'm asking.
but I will turn to Marla because, I'm sure,
You told me no.
I'm sure Jeremy was, well, and Marla is in charge of the park, but Jeremy, I'm sure, was consulted before the city utilities got
Now, I'm not
involved.
talking to the man, never seen the man, never heard of him. But
Right.
I think that was a poor way to go about fixing it.
Sure.
But-
And I have not talked to Jeremy about that, but we certainly can take that under, advisement and see what a solution could be, and then be able to get back with you on it.
Because I know in the park in the winter, they go around and drain all the hydrants, outdoor hydrants. So
To winterize.
that means we'll have 2 outdoor hydrants too.
Those won't be shut off though. But let me ask you, when there was just one hydrant inside the barn, how did you get water to your horses at that moment? Did you use a hose?
Yeah, inside the barn. Which I
Yeah,
only had to
so
go
can you hook a hose up?
20 or 30 feet, and that would do my side of the barn.
Right.
But if I run a hose outside the barn, then every time somebody else on the other side wants to use it, they'll have to unhook it. Every winter, I put a heat tape on my hydrant, because it sit right by the outside door, and it would freeze up. But it should be on the inside wall like the other side of the barn. But I'm just saying that I'd be willing to pay for my side.
So what, I guess what, since.
What do you do, run a hose, or you girls wanna come up and carry my water?
Well,
I mean.
if you're running a hose, but you're
Hey,
running a
listen,
hose
guys,
now,
Listen to 3 men sitting here.
Mr. Duker, you are running a hose now, but you're running
No.
from inside?
No,
Okay. So there's a hydrant was
outside the
inside
barn.
prior to
It was on the inside of the barn,
Okay.
in the middle.
in the middle. So
The
how
barn.
did you get the water from that hydrant to your stalls is what?
With a short hose.
A short hose. So if you had to use a hose now from the
I'd have to have-
outside, it just have to be a longer,
Probably 7,500 foot.
okay.
And
So,
then in barn 2, that barn's 120 feet long. So they'd have to have 150 foot hose or longer to water their hoses.
sure.
But I'm under medical conditions right now. And will be for 6 months at least.
So what's the cost of a 100-foot hose versus the trencher?
I don't wanna do a hose.
Okay. So it's just
Because we
personal
wanna hose
preference.
it. People now will probably water their animals outside, their dogs and all that outside, which is fine with me, I don't care. The faucet being outside is nice, the hydrants. But I think it's inconsiderate for us to have to carry water. And you can't get people to come in and rent stalls. If you say, well, you gotta carry your water from over there.
Very true.
Grandma and grandpa used to have a well, I think, on their farm, but I think we're beyond that.
Well, I think at this point, since we aren't all versed in the whole situation fully, and we'll get with the Carnesville Utilities and talk to him about it, can we get back with you after the
Through
fact?
Marla or
Through Marla?
somebody, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, appreciate you coming to here this evening and
Okay,
stating the
thank you.
situation. Thank you.
We just have to go through the border, right, anyway.
Probably, yeah. We'll take that under consideration and discuss at the next meeting as well. I'd have to look at the contract to see if we're required to have indoor. Okay, all right. Any other questions before I entertain a motion to adjourn? Okay, all right, entertain a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll second that. All right, all those in favor of adjournment? Aye. Those opposed? Meeting adjourned.
We would have.